are now about to witness the awesome,
Talk about.
crushing might of the Eugene S. Robinson Show. Stomper! Didn't think I could do it, did you? Welcome, my friends, to the show that suddenly never ends. This is version 3, 9, 4, I think. Who knows? Who knows where we are in time? Still think there's something to do for the 500th show? 500. What am I, a kid? 500th show. But right now, as usual, it's 2007. Let's let Bob Riley from Stigmata bring us in, as he has every single week. 2007. The song is called Control All or Nothing. It's on a record called All of the Just. Still available. Revelation 11. Huntington Beach, California. Huntington Beach today. Yeah. It's a place where they should be deaf and nightclub. They hit your car with a hammer. And they run your beer program out of town. No standard restaurant that will have $3 in Central Florida. Easy peasy. Right now, listen now. The song I heard for the first time in 1987.
I'm on my way back nowhere. I took my time, but I could not change you.
Yeah, but I'll take it real good. I'll take it real good. Look at your face.
I'm on my way back there, boy. So bring it back and
Always nothing. All right. So you gotta buy the record to hear the rest of it. It's a friend of mine once. What we were listening to, not Sham 69, Blitz, Never Surrender. He goes, this is fucking fighting music. And I knew a little something about that because I remember listening to the specials one night, Concrete Jungle, the same song about 30 times. And I went out that night and got into a massive Donnybrook, as they say, which ended me in the hospital. Written about in the Fight book, also known as Fight, or Everything You Want to Know About Asking About Afraid to Get Your Asking for Asking, a good stocking stuffer for those of you who are still buying books to give to people, and indeed have not bought this one yet. You can get it on sale now. And at this point now, I'm pitching it. It doesn't help me. It's because the ones that are in sale are secondary market ones, and HarperCollins doesn't print new print books. So if you buy an e-version of the book, which you have to sell like 3,000 of those to get a nickel, then I see something. But otherwise, now I'm just, because it's a good book and you should have it. Anyway, here we are. Saludos, amigos. Sí. Let's start at the top. Top of the hour. Well, it's not the top of the hour. Really, it was 7:30 Spain time. It's a cold and rainy day. People don't understand. Oh, you use a Spain? I go, man, I just like weather with character. There were like some crazy clouds today, and I was enjoying the rain. And even though I had misgivings about sitting in the hot tub in the rain because of lightning, and I'm up in the hills now, so there's lightning. The factor, I mean, I talked to a neighbor who's been here 30 years, and he said, "Oh, the only problem here is lightning." So it does strike, and then it probably strikes more than once in the same spot too. You've heard that guy who got struck by lightning twice. How do you get struck by lightning twice, bro? Or one of those people who was at they were at the October 7th massacre of concert goers in Israel, and then they were at Beyond the Beach. It's like, hey, you maybe might want to talk to a travel agent and maybe not do this stuff yourself. Like have people pick vacation spots for you because you're not doing a good job. Well, there was somebody who was like missed Lockerbie with the plane that blew up over Scotland. They missed Lockerbie and then they like missed some other. Then they like got out of it, called in sick to work at the trade center. Yeah, it's like the final destination in reverse. These are fucking lucky people out there. Or maybe you got your finger in the air and you don't need a weatherman to know which way the wind blows. Anyway, so here we are, next to last, penultimate show of the year of 2025. And there's a lot of navel gazing that goes into it goes into I mean, usually it's because if you're an editorial product that you've given people vacations, they're gone, you have a thin staff, plus all the ads that have gone out already because, people are going to buy for the holidays. So, maybe it's a thin issue. There's not a lot of work to do. So they usually fill it with year-end retrospectives, which I did on the Substack if you've read it. But this is more significant for me because I don't have a staff. I don't have, I'm talking about for the Substack. It's just me. So I could do anything, but I choose to. This is up there with the one where I was like, I owe an apology to anybody who had to listen to me complain about anything over the last 63 years because I've got no basis for fucking complaints, which is in itself a complaint, but you know what I mean. But continuing on that theme, I go, well, look, I'm not a nattering nabob of negativity here. There were some things in the year that actually made me happy. They were all things that I was doing, but that's a credit as well, right? You can't. How many people, I'm clearly 10 years at Ozzy with a convicted felon, Carlos Watson at the helm. I would have been hard pressed to do a retrospective show any of those years where I had very much that I was happy about. And I know were he to be here listening today, he's like, "Oh, stop it! You were happy about plenty." I go, "Yeah, I was happy about plenty. Like all that work of mine that you shit can. 10 years of work, shit can. Listen, let me tell you something. If you are listening, I did Skull Game, Mac Avenue Skull Game for 10 years, and then it folded. It folded after I owned it. I bought it from Ilan Bunimovitz, crazy Russian Israeli multimillionaire, bought it from him, and they kept it going for a few years after because I enjoyed it so much. And then, of course, it became financially, you know, people stopped streaming. They went from hard. I mean, the changeover was destroyed me in the porn industry when people stopped buying VHS. Okay, fine, and moved on to DVD. That's where the money was made. And once they started streaming, forget it. It was done. It was done. It was over. And I had to finally admit it. Now, I have shitcan the site. If you type skullgame.com, you cannot find it. But I have a link to it. As fire, it was still there. And I know convicted felon Carlos Watson could go live with all that 10 years of people's fucking work. Just go live. How much server space? I'm paying for the server, and whether or not, because I want to be able to look at it because it was fucking hilarious. Mac Avenue Skull Game was hilarious. It was like The Onion, but for the porn world. And we were all about picking fights. It was, or like the lamb goat comment section. Same thing. We were like it was a wild west. Anybody who was participated in that social experiment back then knows that we had more fun than anybody in their sane mind should have ever had with porno. In fact, it the people in it made porn exciting for the people in porn because it wasn't just. I mean, you got the two types of people in porn: those who take it very seriously and those who don't take it seriously at all. And we were part of the latter crew. So anyway, so that would be nice to see some of that 10 years. But I would have been hard pressed to say, I've been hard pressed to say anything nice during those years, though I had plenty of nice things happen. Right. So in any case, that's what the Substack is about. It's a retrospective. But what even put me in a better mood, and I was completely sideswiped by this because you don't know this, but as a Netflix subscriber, I now have Netflix has figured out based on your IP address and where it's coming from that I'm in Spain, and so they tell me when the Jake Paul fight was going to happen, and they said it was 2 a.m. Saturday. I was like, I'm not fucking staying up for 2 a.m. Saturday. Go fuck yourself. But of course, before I go to sleep yesterday, I'm reading the results. I go, oh shit. Oh, Jesus Christ. Is she dead? When did she die? Fuck. It's bad enough that I had to have Daryl Golar die. Daryl Golar was great. He was a World Vale Tudo champion, and I covered one of his fights, his championship fight in St. Petersburg, Russia, in probably the year 2000, 2001. And he's a guy, if you've heard me tell stories about it, who came and told me the story that I should have kept my mouth shut about, but I blabbed it all over, which is why subsequently I've not been allowed to ever go back to Brazil or to go to Brazil. But he told me, what did she die from? He told me, Eugene, I was there for 46 days and I got laid 48 times and I only got robbed twice. And it was a great story. His robbery. This argument breaks out in this restaurant. And he's like, hey, what's the problem over there? And the waiter goes, oh, these women don't have enough to pay. He goes, how much is their meal? And at this point, it was like 20 reals for an American dollar. So to buy their whole luxury meal, it cost him like $5. So he buys their meal for them, right? And so they come and sit with him. They go, hey, let's go up to your room. Let's go. Let's have a party. So it's clear it's going to be a threesome, girl, boy, girl. He's going to have a great time. And she's like, hey, we brought some tea from our village. You want some? He goes, I didn't come up here for tea. And she's like, oh, no, have some. It's from our village. It's very special. He goes, I don't want any tea. And he starts to argue with them. And then the second one pulls her shirt off and she offers her breast. And he's like, cool, that's what I came for. And he goes and starts licking her breast. But it turns out around her nipple, she had placed some knockout drops. It sounds like a fucking movie, but it's just legit. And he woke up, fortunately, with all of his kidneys, but they had taken his traveler's checks, his video camera, his camera, just took everything that was watch, everything that was of value. And but he said, this, whatever, it's still worth it. Still worth it. I mean, who's putting up those kind of numbers in your normal American day? Of course, I blabbed this out to my wife at the time, and then I said, "Oh, there's a fight coming up in Brazil. They want me to cover." And she's like, "Oh, it'll be great. We can go. We can go. We? Oh, I see. This is the take sand to the beach plan." I got a lot of stuff to do this week that's not on the calendar. I got to pick up my sister, husband, and my nephew and niece. Some of you have given me some stuff to read. A novel. You paid me to read the novel, so I'm not complaining about that. Yeah, and somebody sent me a bunch of poetry, which that's a mixed bag because I don't want to lie. And then somebody sent me their music. So I'll be listening to stuff this week. I already turned in my decibel piece, so I'm done. I had one other piece that I had done that's written. So pretty much all I got to do is work out, eat, keep the kid busy, not get the car towed, and not get killed. Those are on my list. I think this week too, I got about 3 good interviews coming out in January. So those could be coming up. Some might hit early. I got Nico. He talked on Chokes and More. I got his interview, Punkdemic, and there are like 2 others that are coming out. So good stuff happening. Good interviews that are just not me ranting. And I am going to Dublin. So fucking stupid. Don't do this. Is there anything you need to do in Dublin other than clutch a fucking 45 automatic? No. Anyway, let's not talk about it. So this is show 394. I'm gonna go back to coughing my guts out. Thanks for listening. The kid is sleeping. Look what you made me do!
Thanks for joining us this week for yet another episode of the Show Stomper podcast, featuring your host, Eugene S. Robinson. Be sure to follow Eugene's weekly newsletter, which is a soaring hit at eugenesrobinson.substack.com. If you're still on Twitter, he's at Eugene S. Robinson. While you're at it, follow him on Insta at Mr. Sleep 3. That's the number 3. For more episodes of the show that seemingly never ends, go to showstomper.substack.com and become a subscriber today. Eventually, it will house all the Knuckle Up archives we can locate. We already have all the jujitsu breakdowns for free. Check out Eugene on the Bad Boss Brief podcast every other Wednesday morning, as well as the If the Shoes Fit podcast. Pick up his memoir, A Walk Across Dirty Water and Straight into Murderer's Row today, and be sure to leave him a much appreciated honest Amazon review.
Hey, are you still there? I'm here too. This is me, June M. Williams, Eugene's producer.
The Show Stomper has been produced by Original Designs, owned and operated by me, June M. Williams. I provide Eugene with videography, original show graphics, motion graphics, show logos, podcast syndication, social media, and more. I can be reached at originals@gmail.com, spelled ORIJUNELS @gmail.com.